Good morning. Hi, folks. I'm Phil McPhail with United Country Lifestyle Properties in Maine. Are you looking for a 1031 exchange property? Maybe you got a group of friends looking for a hunting club you want to get together. You like to do some long range shooting, or maybe you just really want to be away from everybody on a really large, beautiful piece of land with scenic views. Welcome to 7th Ridge Preserve. The property here in Guilford has frontage on Sebec Shores Road, which is a association road taken care of by quite a few people. There is electricity not too far on each end of this, and the word we're getting is that the power company intends to run it beyond this property, so at some point it should be available. This is a nice building site here off the side of Sebec Shores Road with some clearing. You can just barely see the mountain here behind me, but you'd have a nice view of that if you cleared this out. I'm along the side of Sebec Shores Road right now, and this is the private right-of-way, another way to access the property, and it also accesses miles of the interior road system. Let's go on in here and check this out. We're driving along the interior road now just off of Sebec Shores Road, and this road is across a private landowner. It is a deeded right-of-way until we get to the property, and there will be a pretty substantial gate there. So if you're looking to see this property, don't drive up and think you're going to come in and look at it, because the gate will probably be locked. You will need an appointment to see this property, so be sure to call in advance. Got a nice little rain shower here in the middle of the sunshine, folks. We're now at the gate on the property here in Guilford. This gate is on the property, both sides of the road. As you're coming in here, the property's on one side. Till you get to this gate, once you're here, you're on both sides of this access road. Now we've come through the gate, and the first thing we come to is a storage container here, and this has a lot of the guiding equipment that is necessary to run the business. We also have a side-by-side, which will be included with the sale. There's some culverts and other equipment in here, a tractor. Let's jump in the side-by-side. We're going to go check out the interior roads and some of the trails and the highlights of this property. I'm alongside the access road here, and this is one of a few food plots that have been put here on the land. The clover's coming up here nice, could use a little bit of work, maybe some mowing. I think the owner will probably get around to that. But there's a lot of places that you could do this kind of work. We do have a lot of steep ground, but we also have the level valleys in between these hills. So take a look at this. It's shown on the map with a 360 image. You can see right where it's located. Folks, what really makes 7th Ridge Preserve a special property is its location. We're in the heart of the Moosehead Lake region of Piscataquis County. Piscataquis County is the least populated county in Maine, and it's bigger than several combined northeastern states. What really makes this property's location even more special is the neighboring property owners. To the south, we come up against the Dover-Foxcroft Water District and about 430 acres of conserved land there that will never be developed, protected pond. Salmon Spring Pond is down there, and that is a protected area. To our west and further to the north, we've got tens of thousands of acres of commercial forest managed by one large landowner. And they've done a beautiful job of maintaining that for both timber and for wildlife. And it's open to hunting, so it's not posted land. With the exception of bear season, when they do have leases on their sites, you can't hunt the bear unless you have a lease. Here off the center of the property, folks, we've got about a 71-acre large game shooting area. And what this is, and with the sale of the property, will include a license for an exotic game ranch. The exotic game license here allows you to hunt red stag, elk, bison, fallow deer, and with some extra permitting, you can hunt wild hog here as well. This area also has a great population of white-tailed deer, moose, ruffed grouse, wild turkey, waterfowl. This is, if you're a hunter and that's your a big motivation for why you want to buy, this is one of the best hunting properties you're going to find available in the entire state of Maine. This is 71 acres, all high fenced, has about 8,000 plus feet of fencing around this. This area has had a timber harvest, but it's all growing back to regrowth, extremely dense and a challenge for those who want to hunt exotic game. There is some water sources in here that will maintain the animals. And of course the springs we'll show you here shortly running off the side of the mountains. We've driven up the property interior road system for a ways, and we've stopped here on the side of the road, and we're going to take a little bit of a walk. One thing that is often not found on a mountainside property is water. And we have some springs running out of the side of Bucher Mountain here that are just amazing. We're going to go walk through some older growth forest, and we're going to look at a spring that's boiling right out of the side of the mountain. I had to stop here along the way into this spring because I'm not the only one that knows the spring here. There's a game trail beating down through the woods, and I bet I know where they're going. Find a drink of water. Let's keep on going. This spring runs right out of the side of Bucher Mountain, and we are in the middle of August in one of the driest years we've seen in many years, and we still have water trickling out here at probably gallons per minute. This water is literally in the low 50s temperature-wise. Just beautiful spring water coming out of the side of Bucher Mountain. I'm sure there are a lot of ways you could utilize this for whatever you're going to do with this property. Maybe even bottle and sell some of this stuff. It's, I'm sure with a little filtering, it'd be beautiful. So this is one of the headwaters actually of Big Bennett Pond, which we're going to look at a little later, and that's a nearby trout pond. So stick around for that so you don't miss that beautiful pond. We're back here in the forest in Guilford, and I want to talk a little bit about the forest here. And we happen to come across this. This is a beech tree, and for those who don't know, beech in Maine has quite a problem with a blight, and this is one that appears to be blight resistant. This looks like a beech tree from my childhood, kind of smoother bark without all the blisters on it, which you can see on the little one right next to it that actually has that blight. We've got a nice mix of hardwood and softwood on this slot. There's some really nice ash trees in here in the location we're at now, some hard maple, and a lot of beech and birch. The property is all in tree growth with the exception of the 71-acre game preserve area. That is not in tree growth. It's not utilized primarily for growing trees, so it can't be, but the rest of it is. And my client here does have a 10-year management plan that's on year 2 of 10 that he will transfer that to the new owner at closing. Folks, before we continue on here in Guilford, if you like watching our videos, don't forget, like, share the video, and subscribe to our channel, and put all those notifications on so you don't miss the next video that we put out. One of the game animals I didn't mention, and I did that intentionally, is the primary focus of this property and the outfitter that's owned it, besides the exotic game ranch, is black bear hunting. And I want to point out here, this property between blueberries, raspberries, and these are some beautiful, beautiful blackberries here that are now starting to turn. You know, there's a lot of feed here for the game. We got some young growth forest in here. We have some really old growth forest. Beautiful mixture, plus the game preserve. So let me try these, see if they're any good. Oh man, yeah, you can make some incredible jam out of these. Towards the center of the property here, folks, we've got this, we're on the back side, or the north side of Bucher Mountain. Got a beautiful piece of bedrock, and actually the current owner has talked to some of the air services around. This could make a really nice helicopter landing pad. So should you have a big game ranch here that you're running as a business, people could fly in here from wherever, and with a little bit of clearing of the bushes around the edge of it, make a nice helicopter pad right here. We're on the interior road of the property here in Guilford, and as we come around this corner, off in the distance, you can see Guilford Mountain. And this property goes right up the side of that mountain right there on this side of it. We've got some extremely sheer cliffs, which is a pretty unique feature in the state of Maine. This is great country. The terrain here runs from 600 or so feet above sea level to over 1,000. You got some nice flat ground, you got some hillside. You won't get bored with the terrain on this property. Another beautiful view of Guilford Mountain. We're over on the western side of the property, right near a little beaver pond and at the base of Guilford Mountain. And this is a nice little trapper's or hunter's cabin here in the woods. It's 12 by 30, maybe 32, thereabouts. T111 siding, it's on concrete blocks right on top of the ground, no foundation. Let's go inside and take a look. It's a work in progress, but it would make you a nice little starting point to get set up here on the property in Guilford. This is the inside of the cabin. It's 2x4 construction. Does have some nice new vinyl thermal paint windows. There's no insulation in here. It's all 2x4 constructed. Old gas stove. We got a wood stove in here and a chimney up through. You know, it's rough the way it is right now. With a little bit of work, you could make it a nice little getaway cabin. This is the beaver pond at the base of Guilford Mountain, and you'll see a really good shot of this from the drone shot. We're right in behind the cabin. We're about 150, 200 feet from the cabin location. This is a nice natural feature. Definitely going to draw some game, deer, moose, bear, trout, ducks, you name it. They're all going to come check this place out. From the top here of Bucher Mountain, let's talk about where we're at on the planet here. Moosehead Lake, Maine's largest lake, is 30 miles north of here. Real easy drive once you're out on Route 16. The Appalachian Trail, the 100-mile woods in Monson, that's a town and a half away from us in the town of Monson. Beautiful place to hike and recreate, mountains in there to climb on the Appalachian Trail. The city of Bangor and the International Airport is 43 miles east of us, about an hour's ride, a little less. The city of Portland, 135 miles to our south, and that's about a 2-hour and 15-minute ride. Boston is 238 miles from here, and that obviously is south, and that's about 3 hours and 55 minutes. This is a great location as a base of headquarters for everything outdoors, from whitewater rafting, snowmobiling, ATVing, hunting, hiking, kayaking, canoeing. I could go on, but I think you get the idea. Check out 7th Ridge Preserve. Behind me is Big Bennett Pond. This is a 60-acre trout pond, and it's just about 2 miles from the property. You can actually see the ledges on the side of Guilford Mountain that are on the property. Just south of the property is Salmon Stream Pond, and just north of us here is 6,800 plus or minus acre Sebec Lake, which we have a 50-foot deeded right-of-way on. We're going to show you that next. This is a place here. This is one of the large landowners that owns all the land around this pond, and they allow public access to get in here and fish. And this is actually a trout pond. We're here in August, and I can see trout rising out on the pond early this morning. We're followed along Sebec Shores Road, and we've come to the 50-foot right-of-way, and this is a walking easement. You can hand carry a canoe or kayak from out here down to the shores of the lake. Let's go check out the lake shore. Down here on this real narrow cove that comes into Sebec Lake, and this is the access that will be deeded with the property. The lake is just out here a few hundred feet, and you're going to open up into the big part of Sebec Lake. Well, folks, thank you for taking this tour with me. This is a very large property, and I know sometimes the videos get a little long. If you need more information on this property, please reach out and give me a call at 800-286-6164. I've got a lot more information I can share with you by email or over the phone. Thank you all for taking this tour with me today at the 7th Ridge Preserve. I want to wrap this video up with the details on the property. We got a price of $1,250,000. The property has miles of interior roads and trails. We've got a storage container. We've got gates. We've got 8,000 feet of high fence. The license for the exotic game comes along with this, as well as all the intellectual property of 7th Ridge Outfitters. I think you'll find to locate a property that has taken this much effort to put together and assemble in the Moosehead Lake region to be a pretty rare find. Give me a call. Let's take a look at this on site as soon as you can. Yeah, it's blue behind us today, folks, but the weatherman promised it'd be blue right here, you know.
And there's a bee.